All right, and we are live. What's going on, good people? Thank y'all for tuning in to the Reconstruction Project. Today, I got two very special guests, Team Supreme and my man Ghost.
Hey.
So, today's topic is just going to be kind of more of a general conversation. So, we're going to weave in and out of different topics pertaining to the same thing, which is we are a society governed by our emotions. We're not led by facts. We don't even want to hear facts anymore. The only thing we want to hear is how we feel. And how we feel seems to dictate our course of actions. So I was having a conversation with both of you guys offline at separate times. And I was talking about this same thing. And let me start off by saying, and get y'all thoughts about this and just lead into the segue into the conversation. Yesterday, I created my second channel. Well, I had already created it, but I started sending the invites out to my second channel, which is called Poetry in Motion. When I sent it out, I got some DMs, not about Poetry in Motion, but about the Reconstruction Project, where people were concerned that I wasn't going to do the Reconstruction Project anymore. And I was just like, no, it's just, doing something I love to do. Aside from the Reconstruction Project, there's something that I love to have fun with, which is cars. I'm a car enthusiast. I've made many references to cars, in the Reconstruction channel, because that's just my thing. And anyway, I was having a conversation with you, team, about how no one wants to publicly support the Reconstruction Project, but they'll come to me behind closed doors and they'll be like, oh man, really appreciate what you said, man. I really appreciate what you said. Keep talking about what you're talking about. And it's just like, well, I can't get you guys to support me publicly, but you'll support me behind closed doors. So what do y'all think about that type of stuff when people do that? What do y'all got to say about
that? You go ahead first, Team Supreme. I'll let you jump in.
Okay. I'm going to just repeat a little bit of what I said. Give it for public consumption. First thing is, like I told you, or like I'll just say this: nobody wants to be down with who we call the bad guy. All right, people in society today, they don't want to get canceled. They don't want to get vilified. They don't want to get pointed at. They don't want to get, just pointed out. So we got all these things about, people not liking the way society's going, right? It's just like we talk about how men and women act and all this good stuff and that. But your opinion is your opinion. How you feel is how you feel. You're not hurting nobody. You should be able to live like that. But what we have is people who try to change you. So the public at large want to go in one direction. If you veer off from that, you the bad guy. And there's a lot of people that might agree with you, but they see where the public is going. They see where the general public is going, and they don't want to be put out there. They don't want to be separated from, the group think. They don't want to be separated from the go along, get along gang, as I can't remember what the dude
Kwame
is, basketball player. Kwame Brown says right now. Yeah. So and you know what? And that's real. The go along, get along gang. So I want to be down with the crew. I don't want to be left out there to the side where everybody can attack me. So I'm not going to say what's different. But like I said, I told you this. This is it might be gross or whatever, but and this is how I feel about it. I feel the way I feel about it. But I saw this years ago. This dude comes on a talk show with his wife, and his wife says, they're talking about how his wife gives him pedicures with her mouth. So, she bites off his toenails and all that good stuff. And it's gross. All three of us probably think it's gross. You know what I'm saying? It's nasty.
Right.
And like I told Josh, I wouldn't kiss that mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's just nasty, right? But at the same time, neither one of them are hurting anybody. That's the way they want to live. She's happy doing it. That's what he wants. And she's happy giving it to him. Right? So they're both in the place where they want to be. Well, if that were to happen now in a public sector where people could talk about it, they're going to surround this woman and tell her how he's mistreating her. And they're going to surround him and tell him like how he's a horrible man. But look, those people veer off from the group. They're happy doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we bothering them? Why do we have a problem with it? You don't want to live that way? Don't live that way.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, again, the group think. The group, we got all these people out here talking about how they free thinkers. They're not free thinkers.
Nah, not by a long shot.
You know what I'm saying?
By a long shot.
They down with the group. That's what they down with. 90% of people are down with the grind. Maybe I shouldn't say that big, but the number is larger than everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so when
it's a
you
large
go
number.
off with something different, you live different, you act different. You know what I'm saying? Then you get vilified. You get put out there. And that's what I'm saying. The people who want to support you, they want to support you loud. They want to support you loud, KDO, but they can't because they don't want to be put out in that group. That's how I see it.
What about you, Ghost?
I'm of like mind and stuff. I went to school. I went to school to like make video games, and because of that, I had to go through psychology classes, and I learned a whole bunch of interesting things about group logic and group think, and like they had all these little different studies I had to go and look up and read about, and it was basically echoes a lot of what King Supreme said. A person by themselves will more than likely not do or govern morally. Their morals and convictions and stuff are stronger. But a person in a group in a larger group and stuff will more than likely bend the rules or go along with something that they know is wrong, simply because it's like the numbers and stuff. That's that group, like it's that mob mentality and stuff. It's like ordinarily, like you see it all the time. It's like in history, like they got like all the basically like hate crimes and stuff is that way. Like a person by themselves, like yeah, you might be racist and might not like how this person is and what it is, but you ain't gonna do nothing by yourself. But when you have all these people saying the same thing and doing the same stuff, y'all are emboldened because it's safety in numbers and stuff. And ordinarily, what you would do, it becomes a norm. You know what I'm saying? And in this regard, an example of what you're saying and what you're doing, and stuff like yeah, people, it's great to give you support and pat you on the back and say the attaboy and all that stuff. When it's behind closed doors or it's a private conversation where it's like you can say whatever you want to say to you directly without fear of repercussion or anyone else who does not share your same opinion to judge and be saying anything about it and stuff. And it's like, that's just how it is. That's how a lot of people are. A lot of people are afraid to get out there on their own and be their own voice regardless of what other people are going to say. It's like, it takes a special person stuff because like I'm used to doing it. I've always kind of been like the black sheep or the outcast and stuff. I moved around a lot. I grew up a lot and stuff because like my father was military, so I went to 13 different schools before I graduated or whatever. So I was like, I could reinvent myself, and because I knew I was like next year I might not be here, so I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm not gonna be shy, or I'm not gonna be the quiet kid here, or I'll move to a different school and I'll be a different person. It's like, all right, I'll be the class clown this year. I'll move somewhere, but all right, I'm gonna be that cool Dapper Dan kid this year, or I'll move to a different spot. And I was like, I'm just gonna float or whatever. So it's nothing for me to voice my opinions and say out loud what a lot of people are. I'll be that elephant in the room. It's like I'll say it and stuff. If y'all might agree and just don't want to say it, I'll say it. So but that's not. In my travels and stuff, I've learned that is not a common thing. A lot of people will agree, but are afraid to show their agreement with either touchy subjects or controversial subjects, or they know the opinions of those around them, so they know that won't go over, and they'll have to either deal with them, which they may or may not want to, or they might not see the support or want to give you the support because they may or may not know that it's going to be backed up or shared. And that's what I think of it.
That's definitely a true statement. And that's the thing. People, they always want to act like they got wide shoulders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They could carry that load, but most of them can't. And you're right about that. You'll be sitting in a group and you like, I know all y'all thinking it, or I know a lot of y'all thinking it, but you're scared to say it. I'll say it.
Yeah.
I'll ask the question. I'll put it out there.
Yeah. I mean, let me address this elephant in the room, so nobody wants to act like it's not here. So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You there, Katie?
I mean, society in general. You there?
I think he's having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I'm here. I had to mute myself because I got a phone call. So I apologize.
Oh.
Here's
you weren't even listening, man?
No, I was listening. I was listening. Here's my thought. I hear exactly what you guys are saying. I think for me, having to, like I've actually had to have arguments with my father. Like my father doesn't have any form of social media. If you brought a phone to my father, like one of these new phones, he probably wouldn't even know what was in your hand. That's how tech illiterate he is, right? So I had family members go back to my father and say certain things to my father about, the Reconstruction Project and me saying certain things. And this was a little bit before I established the Reconstruction Project. And I kind of did it as, okay, if you come into the Reconstruction Project, you should know what to expect. You should know around the things and what about the things I'm going to talk about. And I realized that, through that, I'm like, man, that sheep syndrome, it knows no bounds, man. It has no age limit. It knows no bounds. And I'm like talking to my father about this, and I'm like, dude, you don't even know what I've actually said. Like, you just coming at me based off something that somebody else has said. You don't even actually know what I've actually said. Right. And I'm like,
secondhand information.
Right. And the thing about it was, for me, so when I have people come into my DMs and they say certain things, it's like, I kind of understand you really don't want to have to go through that to where you have your loved ones actually saying certain things to you. But it's like, at the same time, you're trying to make me your de facto avatar. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm going to speak vicariously through you, what you're doing. So you be the lightning rod. You take the thrashing. You take all the negative criticism. You know what I'm saying? And even though I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to agree with you behind closed doors, I ain't got to take that risk. I ain't got to take that risk of having people think wrong or think bad about me. You can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't want to be looked at differently because of your ideas.
Exactly. And it's not. It's not. Go ahead, team. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm gonna say you got them mama's boys and daddy's boys, right? Or mama's girls, daddy's girls, whatever. What my mama gonna say if she hear me say that? What my daddy gonna say if they hear me say that? But you got to be your own person. If your parents raised you right, you're your own man or woman, right? So I mean, without disrespect to your folks, your people, whoever you care about, whoever care about you, they know you're not disrespectful, but this is your point of view. And if you don't like it, ask me. Just ask me.
Right.
Don't come at me. Just ask me.
Right.
And then we can discuss it like we discussing this right now. But that's what people don't do nowadays. They don't take the time to discuss nothing.
That's a lost art.
They just make a snap decision.
Most people can't have a conversation with varying viewpoints without it becoming an argument, or just like you be talking about this and I'll be talking about something similar, but not saying the same thing. And it's like, I'm not trying to get you to be on team Ray Ray. I just want you to understand my point just like I'm seeing and hearing what it is that you're saying without being upset or vilifying you for not saying the same thing that I'm saying. I had a friend, I used to hate talking to her because if we weren't saying the same stuff, it was an argument. Only because we weren't saying the same thing. And I was like, you are a 40 plus year old mother of two. I'm a 30-year-old mother of none, black guy. You're a white chick. We ain't gonna say we don't. We have different walks of life. We have different opinions. Like your life up until this point is the what you are because of what happened to you before now. Same with me. So we're not gonna see eye to eye on everything. We're not gonna agree on everything, but we can still have a come together in like a meeting of the mind or whatever without saying the same stuff. With me not saying like you're wrong and I'm right and stuff. We're just sitting there talking about each other's opinions. So we can't even get that far because we ain't saying the same stuff, and you think we have to be saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's so crazy that you say that because none of this stuff is like most people don't have the ability to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So they don't listen.
They do not. They do not listen. They like listening is one of those
for
senses.
a break in pause in sound so they can interject what they want to say.
Right.
That's,
And then
there you go. That's exactly true. That's awesome. Way to put that is that they wait for the break. They're not trying to listen to what you. I got to get in. I got to get mine in.
Yeah. It's like double dutch. You just try to jump in and not get clipped by the rope. You like, you got me. I got your stuff. I gotta wait for the next pause.
And it's so funny because when I realized, one of the things being a man of God is that the Most High has taught me is to always rule your emotions. And I think people don't understand that ruling means you're governing those. That means if you're governing something, that means something exists. Like there's something to be governed to. So it's like I can get mad, I can get angry, I can disagree, but that doesn't mean I'm supposed to let those things control me to a point to where it's taking me to a point of no return. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like it's so funny because I remember saying this to my father, and I said to him because he was talking about, you need to just stop telling people your opinion. I was like, man, I got mad. Like I got mad, man. I got mad. I was like, man, and I was like that little warrior turned on. Like I went into warrior mode and I started seeing red, and I was like, I heard that thing say, get him. Then the other part of me said, that's your father. So I was like, look, dude, I gotta go. I love you. And I got off the phone. And then me and my sister was talking about it. And I was like, it was insulting to me. And she was like, well, why was it? She was like, I know how dad can be, but why was it insulting? I'm like, it's insulting to me for any of y'all niggas. This is my exact words. I was like, it's insulting to me for any of y'all niggas to tell me to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? I was like, ain't nobody in this family has actually, and all of us have put on that uniform. So y'all know what I'm talking about. All of us has put on that uniform, and all of us has had to go play in that sandbox. So y'all know exactly what I'm talking about when you got to go out there and you got to risk your life for some political agenda you may or may not agree with, but it ain't about whether you agree with it or not.
Oh, yeah, that's the truth.
You know what I'm saying? And it ain't about whether you agree with it or not. It's about these are the orders, right? So I got to carry them out, regardless of how I feel, regardless of what my religious affiliation is, regardless of what, I got to carry these orders out in the name of freedom. Meanwhile, you guys are back here stateside going on about your regular life. Some of us have been in situations to where we can even take a regular shower. Like I've been in situations to where like when we LD'd in 03, we didn't even have a latrine. We had to go out here and dig a hole in like a sand dune, whatever, and squat because you don't you gotta squat like you're a little female because you don't really want to get on the ground and poo because a scorpion might tag your way or not, or a sidewinder might tag you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's many things that can take you out in the desert. Not to mention it's 95 to 100 degrees in the daytime and 35 to 25 degrees at night. This is what you're out here enduring for months on end. Don't know where you're going. Don't know what's going to happen. Don't even know if you're going to live tomorrow. You don't even know if you're going to live to see tomorrow. And I know that's technically all of us, But no, it's a different thing when you in a theater of war. It's completely different. Like when you have to bury your battalion commander and all of these things, like I had to do, it weighs different. I'm like, and y'all, for you guys to sit back, you ain't did nothing significant besides go to your job and go home and order your food from the comfort of your living room and all of these other things. You ain't never had to put on this uniform. And then on top of all that, you're a black man. Let's just go and break that. You a black man, so you're not gonna even come back and get the honor and the praise and the adulation as your white counterpart. And so you got the nerve at a minimum as my family members to tell me not to talk. Sorry about that little soliloquy I just went on. But you know what I'm saying?
I mean, hey, before you even get there though, I mean, I look, you know, that's not to say how anybody's pops treat them or moms treat them, whatever, right? But like for instance, okay, there's the time you a child, all right? So you got no say so because you know daddy know what's best. That's what it is. Look,
or even
take
if you
this,
don't know what's
you
best,
got
he's
this.
in that position. You ain't got no choice.
Yeah, he's in that position, right? You got no choice, right? But then you come to a point where you grow older. You grow older. You know, you get a little hair on your chest. You start feeling yourself, smelling yourself. You know, I'm 16. I'm a man now. Probably get your chest caved in. That's what happened to me. But you know, but at the same time, pops also respected it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was the beginning of the respect coming in to where he knew I wasn't scared no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was gonna speak my piece.
Yeah.
And that's what it became. Said, okay, you becoming a man. I got you. Are you okay? Again, it's about agreeing, disagreeing, whatever. If you disagree with me, if I say something, you disagree with me. Disagree.
Mm-hmm.
I may or may not be wrong. Whatever. I might need to see my right, you know, see the right way later on down the line. But this is how I feel, and I'm gonna go with that. And that's how you feel, and you gonna go with that. But my life experience may tell me something different. For instance, all of us, like you said, we played in the sandbox, had the bullets flying overhead, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? That colors our perspective. You know,
Yeah.
and you got to look at it this way, in that it colors your perspective. And I've experienced maybe something that you never have. I say that to any of my family members, anybody I'm around. You know what I'm saying? I had to let family members go for the simple fact that, yo, you doing something that I can't fool with.
Yeah.
That I just can't go. Family members I love. You know what I'm saying? I just can't go. Why not? You used to be down. Yeah, I used to be down then when I was stupid. I ain't stupid no more. You know what I mean? And I ain't telling you got to change if that's what you want to do. But you got to understand, I'm going to have a reaction to it. My reaction is going to be to protect what I got going on. So if that means that I can't be around you, you're going to have to understand that. That don't mean I don't have no love for you. It just means I can't be there. And the same thing goes to, you know, the other ones, like, you know, your elders. You know what I mean? I think I told you this before, KDO. You know, I got not even an elder. This is actually, you know, one of my nephews. And I let him know, you can't talk to me no more. You know, so
yeah.
and, you know, and it was all off disrespect. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, look, you know what? I didn't tell you. I didn't think about when we had that conversation. And I say it right now. I didn't tell him he couldn't have the opinion that he had.
Mm-hmm.
It was a disrespect of it that I really, 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 really disliked. Now, like, okay, we ain't gonna. I love you. You know what I'm saying? I tell you straight up right now, I love you, but don't talk to me no more. And my sister knew what it meant. Like, yeah, you don't want to mess with him. If you try to say something to him, next time he gonna treat you a little rough. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you know. So, you know, but I mean, it's just, and that's all I'm saying about when people have difference of opinion. Like, okay, with my lady, my wife, we have a difference of opinion. I have to tell her sometimes. She get it now better than she used to. But I remember early on, we would go on and on and on and on because we on different sides of the fence, right? And I'd be the first one to say, you know what? That's your opinion, and this is mine. So let's let it go. What you mean? Hold up, stop. I'm not disrespecting your point of view. I'm telling you, you can have that. I don't agree with it. Let it go. I'm not gonna try to change your mind. Don't try to change mine. You know, maybe my mind will change later. Maybe yours. And that's just this be about nothing. You know what I'm saying? We talking about stuff that's like mean nothing. It's not about our decisions on life and how we gonna live. It's just nothing, right? So that's part of the reason I'm like, let it go. You know, it's not me making a decision. It's not me saying, hey, this is where we gonna go. This is just us having a difference of opinion on something. So let it go. But she would still want to keep going. And that's society right now. Society is saying, if you don't agree with us, we're gonna keep going until we make you join our group.
Yep.
And you gotta have your people out there who saying, nah. Yeah, that's their agenda. That's their agenda. I mean, and then they don't look at it like, okay, if we all daggone in the hive mind group think, you know what I'm saying? We all in there, and we all gonna make bad decisions together. And ain't nobody gonna have a voice of reason say, hey, shouldn't we go the other way? Because we about to walk off this cliff.
Right.
Everybody with the blinders on. That's it.
So I mean, and that's the thing about, you know, society. And then like, you know, like the title says about people being emotional, it is emotional. Because, you know, okay, for instance, I'm a segue into not changing the subject or nothing like that, but okay,
go
about
ahead.
people
Be free.
voicing voicing how they feel about this, that, and the other. Okay, so I think I told you this story before, KDO, about something my uncle told me. Because I used to be in the deal of, you know, back in the day, look, man, somebody say, you know, drop the N-word on you, and they the wrong shade, they about to get their ass whooped. You know, straight up and down. That's how it went. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got suspended from school for something like that. You know, dude said some things to me, you know, and I roughed him up, and it went a little too far. So my uncle, we were talking about it later on, and you know, he just trying to drop some jewels on me. He said, listen, man, let me tell you something. This dude said that to me at school. And he said, you know, I said, all right, I'm gonna catch you at school. So they rode the bus home, and he got off at his stop, and he went to lay them things on him. So he laying there up against the tree, and he says, don't matter, still a nigga. And he's like, you know, he said he thought about it when he went home. He's like, man, that didn't even change nothing. He still said the same thing. All I'm saying is, you know, don't get caught up in your emotions so much. Because nowadays, I'm gonna be honest, I done grown up. I'm like, you know, somebody, whatever, I don't care what you think. You know what I'm saying? You think you're gonna say it at home, but anyway, by yourself, anyways. As long as you put your hands on me, say what you want. Because you know what? I can say something too, whatever. Now, I might say something to provoke you because I want to put my hands on you. And we've gotten, you know, you get old enough where you know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? I can provoke you, and you can get in my face, and then once you put a finger on me, I can let you have it. You know what I mean? But before that, talk your talk. And that's the thing about people being emotional. I took it to an extreme on that side, but you just take it to just
I think Ryan in a bad area.
okay.
Uh-oh.
Versus, oh, Y'all lost me.
Yeah, we hear you now. Go ahead.
Y'all lost me. Okay.
Hey, go ahead.
We
I
hear you
don't know
now.
where I left off, but I was just saying it's just like people on YouTube talking about Jordan versus LeBron, and you got people want to fight people for that. They come up there and start insulting somebody because they think one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's agree to disagree. It's a different point of view. I mean, I might think you crazy because you think the other way, but that's it. That's as far as it goes. So, but people get in their emotions, like you said, they get in their emotions and they go too far.
And they
want to fight somebody.
The thing about it is, like, me and my wife was having this conversation the other night, and I was telling her, I was like, look, here's how I feel. Like, we was talking about LBGTQ, and there's this particular. You say what?
Sound like that's a subject for old Team Spring as well.
Yeah. But we was speaking about it, and I was just saying this right here, not to get into that too tough, but I said, because there's a guy in Nigeria, he's a popular cross-dresser, right? And so, over there, it's like, yeah, in Nigeria, yeah, in Nigeria, over there, it's like, it's supposed to be like 13 or 14 years of jail time, like if they catch you. You know what I'm saying? But apparently, they slam you in jail for that, man. But apparently, because them African countries really don't play that. They don't really play that when it comes to that stuff. Not out loud anyway. But apparently, he got some dudes, some upper echelon like government officials that be coming through in Brokeback Mountain in him. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, we were having a conversation, and I told her, I was like, look, I feel like the LGBTQ community has the right to live wherever they feel like they're gonna live. That's gonna be most welcoming to them. I said, now I said, America and the West itself is very welcoming to the LGBT community. So I feel like, in my opinion, they should be trying to come here. And I say, now I don't agree with it. I don't have to agree with your lifestyle. I'm like, just like, this land is suited for them. Another land is suited for me, right? I don't agree with how certain things happen here. So it's best for me to go somewhere to where I can be more of myself instead of being restricted. I'll just keep leaving out and coming in. And so it's like, I could say that, being a man of God, I could say that. And I don't have to hate anybody for which I really do think, they put too much emphasis on that stuff anyway, because I feel like what you do in the privacy of your own bedroom, that's what you do in the privacy of your own bedroom. You know what I'm saying? That's another part of that emotionalism. When I don't know, man. I just, kind of pivot into this. I just feel like society as a whole just set women completely up for failure with this stuff, because the women are the ones that suffer. And I think that, in my opinion, man, I just think, you can't actually talk about things that are actual factual. You know what I'm saying? You can't say anything about things that are okay. They were talking about the Bill Cosby case, right? And I heard Judge, what's his name? Mark Lamont Hill. Okay. And I heard him and Judge Joe Brown debating about it, right? And one thing that Judge Joe Brown kept saying is that people forget, because the Me Too movement and all of these movements that's out there, they're overriding something that's supposed to have set America apart from all the other countries in the world, which is the rule of law. The rule of law was supposed to set America apart, right? So now we're moving away from the rule of law to mob rule. Let's just say a young lady, yeah, and let's just say a young lady comes out, or a lady comes out, and she accuses somebody of doing something to her sexually. Let's just say it's just a false accusation. The implication already is that he's already guilty. He has to go to. He has to. It's
Guilty.
supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but it's guilty until proven innocent. That's how it works in mob rule, right? And even when you've been proven to be innocent, i.e., Michael Jackson, they still want to come behind and try to tarnish your legacy. They still want to say, well, we don't care what you feel, what the facts say. You're guilty. Right? And no one knows, like I said, I have my opinions about Dr. Cosby because here's what I'll say about that. Let me just say my opinion about that. And I tell men this all the time. Don't put yourself in certain situations. Just don't do it. Dr. Cosby was a married man. And so, that being said, you should never have been in those situations. Right? Regardless if it was consensual or not, you should never have been in those situations. If you'd just obeyed your marital ordinances, you would have never got caught up in that situation. Now, I know that's probably not popular for people to hear or popular, but it's true. There are certain things that marriage, Brian, team, you know how, for a fact, this is true. There are certain things, certain troubles that marriage keeps you out of if you obey your marital guidelines, right? You don't have to really worry about this extra stuff that's out here. But at the same time, he wasn't supposed to be prosecuted, and he was prosecuted. His rights, his constitutional rights was violated. Meaning, according to the rule of law, whatever he was being accused of is a baseless accusation. It don't matter. It has not been proven in a court of law. That's the rule of law. But that mob rule says, well, we believe these people, and this just me, man. I did a video about this. We act like Emmett Till didn't happen. Black folks in themselves, they trip me out. They act like Emmett Till didn't get accused of whistling at a white woman and got beat to death in a barn and threw off up into a river with a boat fan tied around him. Beat to the point to where he was unidentifiable. The only reason why his mama knew him was, I think, a watch or cufflinks that his father had given him. I can't remember exactly which one. I'm like, we act like that didn't happen. Huh?
And all you gotta do is, what year was that?
That was like, what was it, in the 50s or the 60s?
Yeah, it was pretty back there.
I want to say it was the early 60s.
Yeah, it wasn't but like 50 years ago. It wasn't too far long ago.
But I want you to also, just, and I'm not gonna say too much about my opinion on it too much. I mean, I'll say a couple things, but just married it up of I Spy Bill Cosby. Cosby Kids Bill Cosby. All right. That happened close enough to that. So what I'm trying to say is, just think about it. In the 1970s, if a white woman said a black man did something, what's happening? What's happening to that black man or white man?
They coming to get him.
It's going down. Whatever they want to have, going down.
That's
it was 55. It was 1955.
It was 55. Okay.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is, even then, remember, Bill Cosby started his he's been doing comedy since the late 50s, and he became
like
popular in the 60s. And second now.
Alice, you said something.
But
no, I think he said he started becoming popular in the 70s.
I think in the 60s even he was popular. He was popular in the 60s, but he, not super popular. But him, Dick Gregory, all them cats was popular during that time. And you got Rich Pryor and all that stuff. But all I'm saying, the basis of what I'm saying is, you just look at what society was doing at that time. Like I said again, if you did anything they didn't like, and it was the person was the right skin tone that accused you of it, you was guilty.
Right.
You was guilty. So why would somebody be scared to say that back then?
Right.
That's not to say, again, I said I wasn't going to talk about my opinion too much, because it's not that I think that that Bill Cosby is without fault anywhere during the timeline. But when you start going back to that and talk about he did something wrong back then, that I'm a little lost. I'm a little lost all the way up until, okay, we talk about NBC, Bill Cosby show. Bill Cosby, he got some real
Maybe.
power.
Right.
And maybe. That's what I'm going to say, maybe. Because you know what?
Mm-hmm.
We've also seen people bring people down even then, even now. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, I'm sorry. I don't think that there's too many white women that wouldn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? Now I think there's some black women that wouldn't say anything.
Right.
Back then. You know what I mean? But again, that's to say that I know what really happened. That anybody knows what really happened. There's no proof. That's probably part of the reason they didn't want to charge him in the first place. There was no proof of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't have no smoking gun.
Right.
None. So all I'm saying is, we can switch from Bill Cosby to somebody who I think did something wrong. I mean, really did something wrong. And that's OJ. But guess what? OJ was acquitted. So what happened? But like Chris Rock said back in the day, he said, black people too happy, white people too mad about OJ. So what happened? Think about it. Black people too happy. That didn't help OJ, did it? But white people being mad, that ruined OJ's life. That ruined OJ's life, and he didn't even go to jail.
Right.
And it still ruined his life.
Still ruined his
because
life.
they was
he got
upset.
that whole that civil stuff.
Yeah, and then they was hunting for a reason to put him in jail anyway.
Yeah, and he just
so all I'm saying is, you turn that around to Bill Cosby. When you turn that around Bill Cosby, you trying to tell me that they don't know they had the power to put him in jail a long time ago if he really did something wrong, or do something or ruin his life a long time ago if he really did something? You out your mind. You out your mind. So that there you go with that. That's one thing. But here's the other thing, and I said something to you about this before, KDO. Everybody need to go and do their research a little bit on what Bill Cosby was trying to do that probably ticks people off. And he was trying to do it. He was
trying to buy
over the last.
He's trying to buy what's it called? A network.
Try to buy
NBC.
Like, no. He was trying to buy NBC, and he was close. He was real close to getting it. He was real. He had the. He kind of had the the cachet to get it. And they're like, we can't have no. I'm sorry, we can't have no nigga.
But you do
owning no damn network. You know what I'm
saying? Not the work that everybody watches. Like no.
They
barely let us own football teams and stuff. And like who's playing football? It's mostly us watching us.
That's right.
We can't own that. That's a game.
That's right. And we can't own that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all I'm saying is,
you do know why though, right? Like, okay, take the this is the reason why, because propaganda is the name of the game. Being able to tell the narrative is the name of the game. The reason why so many African Americans started trying to better themselves in the 80s is because they seen the Cosby Show and they seen a different world. They want to, that's why like you go back and you look at the enrollment numbers of these historical black colleges during that time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I mean, the one place you could find a positive image at the time of us was there.
Right, it was there.
But
you didn't see it anymore.
A lot of people see something, hear something just go really you couldn't not on network television. Go ahead.
What you say, Doja?
You know why? You really want to know why Black Panther made so much money and broke so many records?
What's that?
Because it was like one of the first and only movies that didn't show us as like thugs and slaves and like just regular people. It showed us back in like like in a different light as like royalty and leaders and like such a different stereotype than what's the norm out here. Because like think about it, like all the was it the best actor it is and stuff, black actors like Denzel Washington and like Sidney Poitier or whatever. Mm-hmm. And the only time they gave Denzel with all the movies and stuff that he's done an Oscar or any type of recognition is when he was playing like a thug or a dirty cop.
When he played the bad guy.
When he played the bad guy. Halle Berry had to get naked to get it.
Exactly. She had to show both of them.
Halle Berry had to get her back blown out.
Yeah, she had to get her back blown out on screen by a white guy to even get any type of recognition. I don't know, man. People don't. That's why I say, like, people don't want to understand that it's always an agenda. It's always propaganda. If we can convince you that you're less than nothing, or we convince you that you're a thug, if we can convince your woman that she can't trust you, then we've already decimated her family.
You know what? You got to save that for another time. That last thing you said.
Okay.
You got to save that for another time.
We're going to say that we're going to put a pin in that one.
But I tell you, you know, like you said, controlling the narrative. Okay. So like you said, a lot of people make fun of Bill Cosby. I'm talking about before he went to jail, you know, the old Eddie Murphy jokes. You can't say. A lot of us made fun of Bill Cosby, right?
Right.
But Bill Cosby was the only person that could bring that positive image to everybody, put it in everybody's living room to the point where, you know, man, I was a kid, man, we be out playing ball. Like, yo, Cosby Show and Different World coming
Different World come on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you go home and go watch it because you want to see you want to see that, right? And like you said, then you couldn't get after the Cosby Show, you really couldn't get it on network television. They let you put it on an off-brand UPN, you know what I'm saying? You put it in UPN all day long. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. BET started to get a little strength and Viacom went and bought it. You know what I'm saying? Now what's BET? Do you watch BET? Because I don't.
Man, BET
is trash. I ain't watched BET since I was like a teenager.
The BET is trash.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I started watching BET when they took the music off and they just turned it into like reality TV shows that nobody wanted to watch.
Because again, you know, like you said, they're trying to control that narrative. They're not going to flood us with positive images. You know what I mean?
Nah.
You try to go you try to put positive images of us or of anybody, man, of anybody. It's just like, I mean, you can see it throughout.
It's trash TV that's all that's on right now. You like the shows that I used to grow up watching. Dave Chappelle. You said some real stuff, and then they always want them to say something else. It's like, nah, that's not what I'm trying to make people laugh based off of this. I'm not trying to push an agenda. My whole agenda is to make someone laugh over the stuff that I think is funny, not what y'all want me to say.
Be laughing at something and thinking at the same time. Not going to make, you know, I'm not doing no step and fetching, but that's what they want us to do. You know what I mean? That's what they want us to do. They don't want us to help each other. Okay, Lamar Jackson. Do y'all see what's happening with Lamar Jackson this last week? How they trying to murder this dude in the public eye because he's out there with people from his hood, where he's from, trying to do something positive with the kids. That's what he was doing.
I don't like that.
And they say, "Oh, you a dummy for out there doing." They ain't like that. And I'm like, "Come on, man, for real, for real."
It's the same thing Bill Cosby said. Like I remember one time,
we gonna
Bill Cosby came on and he said some, he said some real stuff, and he's like, "I'm glad that I'm an old man and that I'm gonna die soon because I don't have to see the downfall of like the everything that's going on." Like he's on TV for 30 years showing everybody the right way, or they can do different, they can do better, and it ain't happening. And like when he speak on it, everybody give him grief about it. But he said some real stuff because you forget, like even though he's been on TV and he's such a good dude, he still grew up in like Philly and through like all of the worst of America and stuff. He was born in like what, the 40s, so he's seen it all. Like he just got over that depression. He was growing up through civil rights in the 70s and the 80s and all the stuff that's done happened, and he's done made his money, and he's been in the back rooms and seeing what they really say and with how they really feel about us and whatnot. They don't want to gloss over that.
Yeah, he know. I mean him.
Yeah.
Him and all the people that try to, yeah. It's just the, we get blinded and like I said, and then we get fooled into all the little things they throw out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you gotta have that we gotta have everything. Nobody's saying that. But we saying every time we try to do a little something, you try to smash it. You try to mess it up. You try to turn it around. You try to turn it inside out. You try to turn a positive into a negative. And you think that's fun or funny. For whatever reason. It's just like the dude, the little white kid that was out there thinking like he was gonna rob people, and he went to the hood and did it. And got killed.
Didn't go his way.
Because you're trying to make fun of something that's real people out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's real people. So, people don't realize that, okay, that people really like, okay, I'm driving. All right, I get in my car. I'm a black man. I get in my car to go somewhere, and I gotta make sure all my paperwork is right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure everything is right, because if I get stopped, I gotta wonder whether I'm gonna make it out of
there. You know what I mean? Last stop.
Might be the last ride.
And then that's just one. That's one thing. And the other part is if I'm in the hood, I gotta be protected.
Right.
So yeah, I carry, and I carry with the idea that if I gotta pull it out, I'm gonna use it. So when he ran up on him acting like he gonna rob him, the dude that was like that think like I think was like, oh, you gonna rob me? Not today.
He gonna get a little extra for your trouble.
Now,
and they take this with you. We rob that.
Yeah.
Rob that. And then people up there feeling sorry for him. I don't feel sorry for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. I don't.
Stupid games. You win stupid prizes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's how it used to be back in the day. Like I hate how people don't hold people accountable for stuff. It's like, how back in the day and stuff, everybody was basically grown up or grew up a better person because it was that it takes a village mentality. It's like, if you did something wrong and your family and stuff knew the neighborhood and was and whatnot, you get a whooping by everybody. Like, yeah, I heard what you did at school. That's your couple licks. Your other neighbor waiting on you. You done got whooped like 3-4 times before you got home, and then get whooped again by your parents. And then get whooped because your parents know the other parents knew about it. Like, now you don't embarrass me, and everybody out here knowing our business, and you even got whooped at school or whatnot. And it's what it is. It's like people were held accountable and whatnot. And so I remember my people, my mom's friends with me. I remember I was like, hold up, you can't be whooping me. You ain't my mama. But it's like, it don't matter. Mama's like, get him. So, hey, ain't no hope for me. and I know that she gonna go home and tell my dad. So it's like a third whooping I'm gonna get.
He said, we got a comment.
I say late 90s, early 2000s for sure. Maybe.
Yeah.
We got a comment saying, ain't no grandmas no more. Grandma's 40 now. That's true.
Yeah.
Grandmas are getting younger and younger.
Grandma's is in the same
That's
spot.
true.
That's
the truth. Grandma out there is a cougar. She out there trying to get her.
Yeah. She messed around like, I messed around, had mine early. I can still get out there and shake it. I got good knees and good hips. Both folks work.
But nah, man, I mean, like I say, the late 90s, early 2000s, late 90s, you know, it changed. I remember when I was growing up, there was a dude on the corner, Mr. Snook. Mr. Snook was an old man, but he saw everything on our block.
Yeah.
Everything. All right. So if Mr. Snook caught you doing something, he didn't really have to say that much. Hey, boy, you gonna stop. You gonna stop right now, cause Mr. Snook will whoop you, and then he gonna tell your pops, and the way he tell your pops, it's probably gonna be the worst whooping you got. You know, for a while.
Oh man.
So I mean,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. That went away, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first kid I saw say something back to Mr. Snook, and that was in the
Oh.
90s. And it was a little kid said something back. You ain't my daddy. The Snook got up off the porch. He old man. Got out the porch with his cane, came down there, and he popped him. And the little kid tried to swing back. And when he swung, he got nothing but cane. He blocked it with the cane.
Hey.
And he said, "Yeah, I'm about to walk you down the street to your daddy, boy." And that's what he did. But all I'm saying is that's gone. That's gone. Nowadays, most of the time, you say something to somebody else's kid, man, y'all about to probably have a fight between the two grown-ups. Because the grown-up don't want to hear about their kid. You know,
nobody do.
Like, yo,
Well, the thing about it is,
you know,
y'all do realize that it takes a village is an African mentality, right? And we become so much more Eurocentric.
We ain't a village no more.
We ain't a village more. Yeah, you get Gerard said
people
get shot.
Well, people don't
so you get shot if
don't discipline their kids either.
No, but I think that people have we've removed the boundaries, man. We've everything that our parents did, or people like my father's in his 80s. You know what I'm saying? There was just certain things that that you can't do in that generation. You know what I'm saying? And we've just decided, okay, because we've evolved with technology and all these other things, that we can just get away from that. But the quality of human being that we're making is just like subpar. You know what I'm saying? And that's why other nations is destroying us, man. Like, look, China over there looking at us like, look at these idiots. Like, they can't even decide what gender they want to be, and all they got to do is stand in front of a mirror.
I know, right?
It's like, but
they gonna mess around and call our little dudes in, and we gonna be speaking Mandarin like 10 years. So for real, it's like rich deal, America. It's gonna be China and a half, or China 2.0 over here.
But you know what though?
But man, let me throw something at you.
Go ahead, team. Go.
Hey, go ahead.
I was gonna say,
let me throw.
Go ahead.
Get off in a little bit.
Go ahead, team.
I was gonna say something I heard recently, and this is crazy. All right. So just consuming some media. I consume all types of media, and I form my own opinion. I listen to the left, the right, the middle, the up, the down, whatever. Crazy. I just listen to it all, and I just if I feel like it. But one, they was talking about this poll about all the places in the United States that want to secede from the Union, right? So you got the people in the South that want to secede. You got the people on the West Coast that want to secede. I mean, they really, and then you got people up there. There's like 66% of the people in the South, and some of them, they both on both sides of the fence. It ain't just one crowd versus the other crowd. It's a little bit of both. Nobody's satisfied, right? What's that tell you? You know what I'm saying? Because people are not satisfied. They rather destroy. They rather blow it up. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly, okay, all these states decide they want to be on their own. Most of them can't survive on their own. They can't.
We know Texas
they ain't gonna make it on their own. If the South get out there on their own, that ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? If the West Coast get out there on their own, that ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. The only way we can do it is together, but yet people want to blow it up. 66%, bro. 66%.
That's 2/3.
That's nuts.
That's 2/3,
But nobody's
man.
satisfied, and we rather tear stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. But we rather tear stuff up and think about that's what we're doing to our country. I mean, that's what we do to each other on a daily basis. We tear it up. We bring things in. We introduce stuff to, into the world that you shouldn't introduce. Like you said earlier, we go back to the alphabet city thing. Look, you can do what you want to do. Like you said, I'm of the same mindset. Do what you want to do behind closed doors. But why are we trying to blow stuff up? You got people that they doing what they doing behind closed doors, and then they go and set stuff up. They take a camera. They got either a hidden camera or they use their phone, and they go to a place that they know don't want them there. Don't want them there. And they start some stuff. I'm like, why? For what? You got 50 million other places you can go to. This is probably not even your favorite place. And you're going to go and start this. It's those people. And you want to change the way those people feel about you. Why? Because you can't change what they, like, I go back to what I said earlier. You can't change what they feel about you. If somebody say I'm a nigger, they believe I'm a nigger, they're going to think that anyway. Right. They're going to always think that no matter what I do to them, no matter how nice I am to them. You know what I'm saying? You be nice to them. I'm gonna just try to be extra nice. Like you got these beta niggas running around. You know what I'm saying? Figure they're gonna be nice to everybody, and that's gonna change the narrative. That's not gonna change the narrative. They feel how they feel about you.
Right.
Be you, and don't worry about it no more.
Right.
And that's. But like I said, you go back to that. Everybody want to destroy it. I mean, not everybody, but like I said, like you said, 66%. It's 2/3. They want to destroy it. They'd rather destroy it than to really fix it. To really deal with the issue. They just want to change the issue. They just want to change it to what I want it to be. I mean, look, I'm not going to always agree with you. I was in the store the other day on post. And little fella, I mean, man, you know what he was. He got big earrings on. Is going all around his ear. Going on. Everything. He didn't want to look me in the. And I wasn't giving him like the, hey, you know better than whatever. I don't care. I really don't care. But he didn't want to look me in the face. And I'm just like, look, just because I don't agree with you, and you obviously can tell that I don't agree with you. You can tell I don't agree with you because who I'm with. You know what I'm saying? You can tell I don't agree with you just my posture, how I carry myself. You probably tell I don't agree with it. I don't care. You live your life, right? Let's not destroy this thing. Let's try to make the best of it. let live and let live. If you think, some negative about me, whatever, as long as you can keep it in your. He never let that get in the way of the job. The job was taking care of soldiers, and I promise you, he never let.
I think you cutting out, team.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cut all the way out that time. All the way out. I wanted to say something. I hope he come back in. He trying.
Hey, y'all still can't hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Yeah, you hear now.
You went all the way out. But I want to say something.
Y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you now.
You did.
Right,
okay.
You gotta look to the left and put your right.
You hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you now. Yeah, you're gonna have to hold the antenna up, like get you like a clothespin. Hold it up while you're driving. You probably going. You going through the mountains, team? Anyway. We was talking about, a few minutes ago, we were talking about Bill Cosby getting ready to buy NBC. Notice that they stopped him from having his own network, but they allowed Oprah to have one because they kind of knew that what she was getting ready to do wasn't going to be for the betterment of it wasn't going to
It
change the
wasn't gonna make
perspective.
waves.
It wasn't going
Wasn't
to
gonna
do
make
anything.
waves. It wasn't gonna set no example for other people's. Like, you know what? I can do better. I can do this. Or this is a thing. What? Why not?
I mean, because yeah, that's true, Gerard. But the thing about it is that um look at her. Most of her shows permeated with Tyler Perry shows, right? And Tyler Perry is not an alpha guy, right? Tyler Perry is a very beta-ish type male. Tyler Perry is very effeminate type male. You can look at him. Anytime that you just look, I understand that Hollywood, she owned I think she owned part of it. Like she owned like 40 or 50% because it was like through Discovery, I think. But I think Discovery bought it back from her. I think they bought it back from Oprah, but I'm just saying that she was the only person that actually came close to owning he said F Tyler Perry.
Let's give him Tyler Perry myself.
Nah, I'm giving Tyler Perry in a second. This is why I don't like Tyler Perry movies, and this is why I said that the only shows that they would put on there would be Tyler Perry shows. Tyler Perry, all of his, for one, he needs to go out and hire some more writers. He be talking about his work ethic and all that. I hear you. I hear your creativity and stuff like that. But you need a second and third and fourth and fifth opinion because your stuff is trash. Let's just be bottom line. Your stuff
It's
trash.
all by him.
It's all about you. You ain't got nobody proofreading. You ain't got nobody I sat here. I promise you. I sat here and was trying to watch. What's that Tyler Perry show? The one. What is it called? The Oval. Or the Oval
I couldn't
Office.
even tell you. I've never watched a single Tyler Perry show.
They did, Gerard. He was mad about that too. He said the Boondocks exposed that Negro. They did.
They picked out of his.
Yeah, he was pissed. Oh, TP, are you with me? He was pissed. But what I was got to say. Oh yeah. So I sat here, and I'm just talking about purely from an artistic standpoint. This ain't got nothing to do with the substance of what was being said. None of that stuff. You're supposed to, like, when you're writing, everything that you're doing is supposed to, when you're writing screenplays or like comic books and stuff like that, or you're supposed to be trying to progress the storyline forward. So the dialogue is not supposed to stay going around in a circle for too long. If the dialogue is going around in a circle, because my minor was creative writing, right? So the dialogue isn't supposed to be going around in a circle. If it's a bunch dialogue, it's for a particular reason, right? But it's still supposed to push the narrative forward. Man, I was looking at this show, man. I promise you, they stayed arguing about a point for 10 minutes. I'm not lying to you. They stayed there arguing about a point for 10 minutes. And I'm like, this did not progress. Like, you just wasted 10 minutes of airtime when you could have chopped that up in 2 minutes and kept it moving. But Tyler Perry, the reason why, like I said, add to the fact that his stuff is just trash, right? It's always told from a jaded beta male, simp, gynocratic, raised by a single mother point of view. That's where his stories come from.
Chump.
Right? Say what, Team Supreme?
He a chump. I can't stand that dude, man. Man, any dude that run around and he dressed like a dude, he still look like a woman. Can't stand that dude, man. I mean, look.
Right.
Check it out.
Ahead,
and I ain't trying to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Hold your thought real quick. But remember, one of them comedians said, I think it might have been Dave. You hear me?
I hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna say it may have been another comedian that said, "Hey man, they always try to get you to wear a dress, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
You
remember
hear
that.
me?
yeah, yeah. I hear you.
Yeah." And
Yeah.
this dude chose to wear a dress. He didn't nobody try to get him to do it. He made a famous check. I hate that dude,
Oh
man.
man.
I ain't gonna lie.
Oh wow.
But
And
the
I'm not
thing,
trying to. I'm not trying. Congratulations to him on all the accomplishment, but I just can't stand the way he did it, man. I don't like it.
yeah. But the thing about it is, it's like the thing that gets me is that he always tells his story from a particular point of view, and it's always some dude, some dark skinned dude. Now this is the crazy thing. It's always some dark skinned cat, right? That's posing
Yeah.
to be this good guy, and then turn out to be a complete and utter dog, right?
Yeah.
And then you got this light skinned brother that always have to come in and save it.
Save the day.
He got to come save the day. It is what it is, man. Like the dude come in. Gerard said, "Dark skinned cat with muscles." Yeah, he dark skinned cat. This dude look like he just took the super soldier serum, right? And he always got to have a shot of this dude having his shirt off. Like I remember,
It's
what
in the
was that movie?
contract. It's in the contract.
What was that movie, man? Yeah, he a light skinned Christian. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What was that? What was that movie, man? To where they were supposed to be. I want to say if I could do bad by myself. Was it I could do bad by myself? But it was
I
one of the
couldn't
movies.
say because I've never watched a single
Man,
Tyler
it
Perry
was it
movie.
was it was one of the movies that it was supposed to be a smash scene, right? And the
Uh,
dude's in the smash scene completely naked, and the woman's in the smash scene, and she got everything on. Like this is, and I noticed this. I'm like, look at the
It was
optics of this,
totally phony, right? Totally
right?
phony. Dudes
I'm
don't
like,
do that.
dudes don't do that. We don't do that.
To take them
Like,
clothes off, girl.
right? We don't we
Put
don't
them
we don't
clothes
do
off.
that. And I'm like, man, like who is like? I'm like, are you? You say that's all his movies, I said that's all.
it's
And
all food.
I'm sitting here like,
Hey,
man,
hey,
who?
man. He write the same movie, and then he write all the
They're
parts.
cookie
The
cutter.
dude write the woman
All he
parts.
do it. All he
He write
does
the
is
woman
it's the
parts. He
same
think he
movie, and he just mixes them around. He got them all numbered. He's like, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he's like, all right, we're gonna do 4, 4, 4, 3, 1, 2, and we just gonna let it ride. It's gonna be a whole. We just gonna call it something else. We're gonna call
Team,
it one of our other plays. It's gonna be the
what you
same
was
yeah.
thing.
saying? He write the woman parts too.
He write the woman parts, man. He look. Sometimes some of them women actually come out and say, "Yeah, that's not what a woman would say or do," and he be like, "Shut up! I'll fire you."
He's like, it's all right. I'll put on this makeup and I'll be the woman and I'll say it and
I
it'll be okay.
I was raised by a woman. I know how women act. I was raised by women. Get
Yeah.
out of here.
Like all his
Check this
the
out.
is like 3 of his aunts all combined and whatnot.
Check this out. Y'all remember the movie Acrimony, right?
I've
Yeah,
never
I
seen it. I
watched.
never
I
watched
actually
it.
watched
Okay.
that one. Yeah.
I watched it, right? And I'm sitting here, and me and my wife was discussing it. And my wife was like, who do you think is wrong? And I said, baby, I'm going to be frank with you. It's hard to tell because this movie is horribly written. Like, I'm like, I told her, I said, listen, this dude is a bum. He was a bum, Brian. He was a bum. The dude was a bum, man. I'm like, I wouldn't even encourage, I would be telling her, you need to go ahead and think about DX and that ninja. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes don't move like, listen, dudes don't be, they don't just have a dream and just be sitting there waiting for the dream to take off. That's not how really men. That's not. Look, the more realistic aspect will be she would have been pushing him to fulfill his dream. That's the realistic aspect behind it. Because dudes meant a real man's mentality who wants to take care of his woman is that he will put whatever he got going on, whatever he desired to the side to make sure that woman and his children and all that are taken care of. Brian, team, you know I'm not lying. This is how dudes think. We'll put everything off to make sure our people are taken care of. That woman is going to have to come and say and push you and say, I think we should take this risk, because women are built more emotional like that. Dudes are logical. We're thinking A's and B's, right? So that dude in that movie wasn't going to go from being a bum to being a superstar. It was like poorly written.
Well, even more than that, she wasn't gonna stay.
She wasn't gonna stay.
She been gone, man.
She been gone.
Man, ain't no woman worth her spit gonna stay in that. Now, the dude a bum, that kind of bum, and she fine,
right?
Man, get out of here,
man. I was saying, I said, listen, because they were talking about, oh man, she's bitter. I'm like, look, she got every right to be bitter. Like that ain't something that, like, she don't. First of all, she can't have children anymore. You know what I'm saying? You don't cheated on her. She's been paying your way through college. Now she don't paid your way through college. She don't lost the house behind you. What? Who in their right mind is thinking that this woman, by leaving you, is doing the bad thing, doing the wrong thing? Nobody's from a logical standpoint, because you be begging, look, sis, this is your sister, bro. Look, baby, don't marry this guy. Listen, I'm telling you, you don't want to do this stuff. This is what you be saying to it. I'm like, all of a sudden, because she didn't support him that one time when he was telling the truth, all of a sudden that make up for all his years of bundum. Like, come on.
Look. I'm just gonna be real. I kind of got a bum in my family, right?
Everybody got a bum in their family.
I'm saying that's married, right? But he ain't that kind of. Look, he ain't that kind of bum. He at least he may not have no ambitions, is what I'm saying, but he do the things, at least do the very, very bare minimum to take care of things. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So even the bummiest cats, if they got somebody and they got a wife and kids or whatever, they're going to at least do the bare minimum so they can keep it together. At least. That might be working at Walmart and not wanting to get a daggone promotion, but he going to do that at least. And this dude didn't do nothing. Nothing. And she stayed. I just don't believe that, man.
I'm like, because you have to be in the writer room. It's like, dude, who's in your editing room with you? Like, who would let this script come out? For real. But it's him.
He don't know how to write. He don't know how to write no positive dudes. And then he swear he know all about how women think because he want to be a woman so daggone bad. You know, like, dudes, you not no woman. You don't know how they think. Stop.
Women think on a whole different level on a whole different vibe. I ain't gonna say level than what we can ever think. Like, how many times we've had conversations, team, and you've been like, that's just a woman. She's just being a woman. And that's really that's your only explanation. Nah, man, she's just being a woman. It ain't nothing behind it. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to let her get vent and get over that. She's just being a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because women can't look. And that's another one. But I say that a lot because women can't put away their feelings like we can.
Exactly.
Men have to put away their feelings. I mean, look, a real man now. And I'm saying, I ain't talking about no black man. I'm just talking about a man, any color, whatever. A man got to put away his feelings because he got a job to do. So, and that's the thing. And that's the thing about, like, what you was talking about with dreams or whatever. Your dream ain't getting no traction. You like, okay, let me put this away and go do what I got to do because I got to do this first. You know what I'm saying? A woman don't have to think that way because that's not her role.
Right.
So she can be emotional.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got to let them go through that. Whereas a dude, man, you got to, hey, look, man, you better put your feelings away. You know what I'm saying? Put them away.
Like, you feel however you want to feel, but you still got to do this.
Yeah. But you still going to have to make it happen, man.
That's right.
You got to make it happen.
Get in the way and stuff, and you don't put them away, man. Look, the first person going to call you out, guess who's going to call you out first?
Your woman?
Right. First person gonna call you out, and then you know who else gonna call you out if they know about it? Your boys.
Your boys.
First your woman gonna call you out, and then your boys gonna be like, "Yo, man, you got some feminine. You better get right." You know, so.
They be like, "Man, you need to tighten up, bro. Why you thought that was a good idea?" Like for real. Like this is what you. But the thing about it is, that's why I said they would give Oprah her own network because she was gonna bring in guys like that. She ain't finna bring in no cats that's gonna be changing and talking about real men stuff. She ain't gonna bring in no cats like that.
She wasn't gonna bring in no Kevin Samuels. She's gonna bring in some Tyler Perry clones.
Yeah. I mean, man, listen.
She ain't gonna bring nobody that was gonna come in and say some real stuff that was gonna shine light and be real and be unbiased. Is what it was. Nobody seeks correction.
But the thing that's true. But the thing about it is that men and women have two different natures, right? A man's nature is all about conquering and cultivating the environment. I mean, conquering the environment, setting the environment. Men are all about establishing a culture. Women conform to that culture and they work within. That's why these women over here, right? Let's just say the Western society women. This is the only place that they can actually be out of pocket. Because if you take your behind over there to Saudi and say the things that you're saying and see what they do to you. Oh, you talk. Oh, come, please come. You're talking crazy. Get in the back. They locking you up.
You're gonna get hit by a whole rock quarry. Oh, that's what you said. It's like bring the square rocks. They ain't gonna hit you with no pebbles. They gonna hit you with some smooth boulders.
And here's the thing that even the women over here forget: the men made this environment so you can be this way. And then you're in the environment that a man has cultivated. Because make no mistake about it, if men want to tighten down from the government level and say, here is going to be the rules and regulations, the women can gripe and complain, but there ain't gonna be nothing they can do about it. You know why? Because you ain't got the physicality to overthrow it. When they look, me and my partner was talking about this the other day. In Africa, bruh, if you ain't right, they might hire your closest confidant to take you out, man. They pull him to the side, but look, Habib, we're gonna overthrow this government. So it's either you or him. Habib will kill you.
Hey, look, it's funny what you just said. I gotta get off, but it was something my wife was watching. And dude, Muslim cats, they different. They I mean, real Muslims, they think different. Okay, so no disrespect to the family, right? You cannot disrespect the family unit. You disrespect the family, you embarrass us, it's gonna be bad for you. So this dude was trying to date an American chick, a black chick, right? And she didn't understand about his culture and that she couldn't do certain things. It's the first time she meets his family, she got liquor and she been drinking and blah 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 blah. And she was doing all kind of, hood rat type stuff. And his family first they was like, look, if you want to be with this girl, you must marry her. She must marry, whatever, saying they got to get married, right? And she was like, I don't know if I want to get married. And the reason why she was saying it because she was already married. She had to get her divorce first. Her divorce wasn't final. So when they found out she had been married before, they started getting mad. Then they started seeing her on Instagram, and she was doing all this, she doing all the Instagram model type stuff. And they started getting mad. And usually you would think they're gonna say something to her. Man, brother came and saw him, and he said, "Yo, father is talking about killing you." He's like, you need to leave her alone because he's gonna kill you.
Right.
That's that honor killing stuff. That's the thing. That was they had to make a rule or a law. They had to change some laws because that was becoming the thing, like honor killings over there, overseas and whatnot.
Yeah,
like it was kind of jacked up because sometimes it'd be something they did, and then sometimes it'd just be something that happened to you. Like you messed around was like you were just out there and something happened to you because you just happened to be there. You're like, all right, you didn't zig when you zagged, or you wasn't close enough to your male relative, and this happened to you, and to restore the family's honor, they take you out. And I was like, damn, that's horrible.
Yeah,
they do that.
They don't mess around, man. You can't be this. disrespecting my name. And you know what? And the funny thing is, it's not that we don't have none of that. It's because I tell you know this, kid, yo. I tell my own son like, yo, you carrying my name.
Yeah,
You know, that's my name you got on you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't come out here half stepping. I'm gonna call you out.
You gonna call my team?
You know it, man.
Oh man.
But the thing about it is, before we get off, y'all, before we bring this to a close, because I actually got to end the podcast. But the thing about it is, man, is that it's actually biblical that when a young lady, for one, like I was talking to my wife about this, women ain't supposed to be out there by themselves like that. They're not. You know what I'm saying? When women step out, they need to be with their husband or a family member. That's how it's
Or a
supposed to be.
male family member.
A male family member. Right.
Yep.
Now they could go out with a woman, but they couldn't go out with another, just another random guy, right? Because that's why they hold, and it sounds like to the Western world, it sounds crazy, but that's why they hold the women accountable, because they're like, well, you weren't supposed to be out here in the first place. So to them, you know what I'm saying? So you ain't supposed to be out here, and all of a sudden you ain't got your back blown out.
Running around out here with your pants falling off.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now, Muhammad don't put you in this bush, and don't wear you out. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden we supposed to go. I gotta go kill Mufasa's boy because you couldn't get yourself together. That's how they look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Can't marry you off now. You ain't
I can't marry you off. You're sullied. You know what I'm saying? Biblically, like if the woman, something happened to her, and the Bible says if she's so far away that no one can hear her scream or whatever, then this is what the Bible says. It's like if she's so far away, no one heard her cry, right? Then they were supposed to kill the dude. Like they came and killed the dude because he raped the daughter of Zion.
Mm-hmm.
That the Bible says if she was within the city gates and she didn't scream, meaning that that scream means that you're in trouble.
Right.
If you ain't scream, you know what I'm saying? That means that you invited the trouble.
Man, you was complicit.
Right. You exactly. You just happened to get caught.
Mm-hmm.
They getting both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing that people don't understand. It's like I was expressing this to my wife because she was telling me about a friend of hers that basically something happened into where the guy was just like he was no longer interested. So me and my wife was talking about it. I said, there's a lot of things that happen in relationships. I said, how do you feel about us having to go back to arranged marriages? And she said, well, I don't know. And I was like, the truth be told, it probably is the best way because people making their own choices don't seem to work. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I'm not saying everything is a perfect model. I'm just saying, you would have, if you got arranged marriages, it would be more about a duty versus what you feel.
I'm gonna leave you with a question on that. We could probably talk about it another time, but is marriage about love?
No. Not anymore.
It was never about love.
It never was.
It never was. It was all about duty. But anyway, guys, appreciate y'all for stopping by, giving y'all amazing thoughts. Enjoyed the conversation. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to do this again. Y'all know how we do. I'll talk to y'all later, man. KDO out. Team Supreme out.
All
right.
Ghost in the back in the ghost cave. Later.
All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed.
Later.
All right.